Chapter 4. The confidential reasons for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj. Verse 181. Now, whatever affection we see the gopis show for their own bodies, know it for certain to be only for the sake of Lord Krishna. The gopis think, I have offered this body to Lord Krishna. He is the owner and it brings him enjoyment. Krishna finds joy in seeing and touching this body. It is for this reason that they cleanse and decorate their bodies. O Arjuna, there are no greater receptacles of deep love for me than the gopis, who cleanse and decorate their bodies because they consider them mine. There is another wonderful feature of the emotion of the gopis. Its power is beyond the comprehension of the intelligence. When the gopis see Lord Krishna, they derive unbounded bliss, although they have no desire for such pleasure. The gopis taste a pleasure 10 million times greater than the pleasure Lord Krishna derives from seeing them. The gopis have no inclination for their own enjoyment, and yet their joy increases. That is indeed a contradiction. For this contradiction, I see only one solution. The joy of the gopis lies in the joy of their beloved Krishna. When Lord Krishna sees the gopis, his joy increases and his unparalleled sweetness increases also. The gopis think, Krishna has obtained so much pleasure by seeing me that thought increases the fullness and beauty of their faces and bodies. The beauty of Lord Krishna increases at the sight of the beauty of the gopis. And the more the gopis see Lord Krishna's beauty, the more their beauty increases. In this way, a competition takes place between them in which no one acknowledges defeat. Krishna, however, derives great pleasure from the beauty and good qualities of the gopis. And when the gopis see his pleasure, the joy of the gopis increases. Therefore we find that the joy of the gopis nourishes the joy of Lord Krishna. For that reason the fault of lust is not present in their life. I worship Lord Keshava, coming back from the forest of Braja. He is worshipped by the gopis, who mount the roofs of their palaces and meet him on the path with 100 manners of dancing glances and gentle smiles. The corners of his eyes wander like large black bees around the gopis' breasts. There is another natural symptom of the gopis' love that shows it to be without a trace of lust. The love of the gopis nourishes the sweetness of Lord Krishna. That sweetness in turn increases their love, for they are greatly satisfied. The happiness of the abode of love is in the happiness of the object of that love. This is not a relationship of desire for personal gratification. Whenever there is unselfish love, that is its style. The reservoir of love derives pleasure when the lovable object is pleased. When the pleasure of love interferes with the service of Lord Krishna, the devotee becomes angry towards such ecstasy. Sri Daruka did not relish his ecstatic feelings of love, for they caused his limbs to become stunned and thus obstructed his service of fanning Lord Krishna. The lotus-eyed Radharani powerfully condemned the ecstatic love that caused a flow of tears that hindered her sight of Govinda. Furthermore, pure devotees never forsake the loving service of Lord Krishna. to aspire for their own personal pleasure through the 5 kinds of liberation. Just as the celestial waters of the Ganges flow unobstructed into the ocean, so when my devotees simply hear of me, their minds come to me who reside in the hearts of all. These are the characteristics of transcendental loving service to Purushottama, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It is causeless and it cannot be obstructed in any way. My devotees do not accept Salokya, Shastri, Sarupya, Samipya, or oneness with me. Even if I offer these liberations in preference to serving me, my devotees, having fulfilled their desires by serving me, do not accept the 4 kinds of salvation that are easily earned by such service. Why then should they accept any pleasures that are lost in the course of time? The natural love of the gopis is devoid of any trace of lust. It is faultless, bright and pure, like molten gold. The gopis are the helpers, teachers, friends, wives, dear disciples, confidants and serving maids of Lord Krishna. O Partha, I speak to you the truth. The gopis are my helpers, teachers, disciples, servants, friends and consorts. I do not know what they are not to me. The gopis know Krishna's desires and they know how to render perfect loving service for his enjoyment. They perform their service expertly for the satisfaction of their beloved. O Partha, the gopis know my greatness, my loving service, respect for me and my mentality. Others cannot really know this. Among the gopis, Srimati Radhika is the foremost. She surpasses all in beauty, in good qualities, in good fortune, and above all, in love. Just as Radha is dear to Lord Krishna, so her bathing place Radhakund is dear to him. She alone is his most beloved of all the gopis. O Partha, in all the 3 planetary systems, this earth is especially fortunate, for on earth is the town of Vrindavan, and there the gopis are especially glorious, because among them is my Srimati Radharani. All the other gopis help increase the joy of Krishna's pastimes with Radharani. The gopis act as the instruments of their mutual enjoyment. Radha is the beloved consort of Krishna, and she is the wealth of his life. Without her, the gopis cannot give him pleasure. Lord Krishna, the enemy of Kamsa, left aside the other gopis during the rasa dance and took Srimati Radharani to his heart, for she is the helper of the Lord in realizing the essence of his desires. Lord Chaitanya appeared with the sentiment of Radha. He preached the Dharma of this age, the chanting of the holy name and pure love of God. In the mood of Srimati Radharani, he also fulfilled his own desires. This is the principal reason for his appearance. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya is Krishna, Brajendra Kumar, the embodiment of rasas. He is amorous love personified. He made his appearance to taste that conjugal mellow and incidentally to broadcast all the rasas. My dear friends, just see how Sri Krishna is enjoying the season of spring. With the gopis embracing each of his limbs, he is like amorous love personified. With his transcendental pastimes, he enlivens all the gopis and the entire creation. With his soft bluish-black arms and legs, which resemble blue lotus flowers, he has created a festival for Cupid. Lord Sri Krishna Chaitanya is the abode of rasa. He himself tasted the sweetness of rasa in endless ways. Thus he initiated the Dharma for the age of Kali. The devotees of Lord Chaitanya know all these truths. Advaita Acharya, Lord Nityananda, Srivas Pandit, Gadadhar Pandit, Swarup Damodar, Murari Gupta, Haridas Thakur, and all the other devotees of Sri Krishna Chaitanya, bowing down with devotion, I hold their lotus feet on my head. I have given a hint of the sixth verse. Now please hear as I reveal the meaning of that original verse. Desiring to understand the glory of Radharani's love, the wonderful qualities in him that she alone relishes through her love, and the happiness she feels when she realizes the sweetness of his love, the Supreme Lord Hari, richly endowed with her emotions, appeared from the womb of Srimati Sachi Devi as the moon appeared from the ocean. All these conclusions are unfit to disclose in public, but if they are not disclosed, no one will understand them. Therefore I shall mention them, revealing only their essence, so that loving devotees will understand them, but fools will not. Anyone who has captured Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Lord Nityananda Prabhu in his heart will become blissful by hearing all these transcendental conclusions. All these conclusions are like the newly grown twigs of a mango tree. They are always pleasing to the devotees who in this way resemble cuckoo birds. The camel-like non-devotees cannot enter into these topics. Therefore there is special jubilation in my heart. For fear of them, I do not wish to speak, but if they do not understand, then what can be happier in all the three worlds? Therefore, after offering obeisances to the devotees for their satisfaction, I shall speak without hesitation. Once Lord Krishna considered within his heart, everyone says that I am complete bliss, full of all rasas. All the world derives pleasure from me. Is there anyone who can give me pleasure? One who has 100 times more qualities than me could give pleasure in my mind. I stop here reading Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila chapter 4, the confidential reasons for the appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai. Jai Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami Maharaj ki Jai. Om Vishnupad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Then we're reading from Sri Guru and His Grace by Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Siddhadev Goswami Maharaj. It's a new chapter, the original Guru. The original spiritual master is Nityananda Prabhu. He is the general representation of Guru. In the spiritual world, he is the Guru Tattva principle in the four primary mellows of devotion, excluding the conjugal mellow. In Madhura Rasa, Baladev's representation is Ananga Manjari, the sister of Radharani. The position of Nityananda is greater than that of Baladev. Why? He is distributing prema, divine love. And what is prema? It is higher than all other achievements. If one can give divine love, then all others must be subordinate to him. If Krishna is subordinate to Mahaprabhu, then Of course, Balaram is subordinate to Nityananda. They are similar, but when magnanimity is added, Balaram becomes Nityananda. That Balaram who can distribute divine love, who can perform that higher function, has come here as Nityananda. Our foundation must be solid and proper. Then the structure should be erected. Otherwise the whole thing will go down. We can get a solid foundation from Nityananda Prabhu. So beautiful painting. One day Nityananda Prabhu came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's house in Mayapur. Mahaprabhu's mother Ch.Ch.Adi Devi and Vishnupriya Devi, his wife, were also there, as well as other devotees. Suddenly Nityananda arrived, quite naked. Mahaprabhu managed to give him some cloth, and perhaps he was concerned that the devotees might have some misconception about Nityananda Prabhu. So to prevent this, he asked Nityananda Prabhu for his kopin, his loincloth. He tore it up and distributed it amongst the householders that were present, instructing them, keep a piece of this loincloth as a kavacha, an amulet, and tie that with a thread to your arm or wear it around your neck. Please keep it with you. Then you will be able to achieve sense control very soon. Nityananda Prabhu has control of his senses to the extreme degree. He does not know anything of this world. His vairagya, indifference to the world, of mundane transaction, is of such a degree that he can appear naked amongst both male and female. So the grace of Nityananda Prabhu will construct a firm foundation for us. If there is a firm foundation, then we may build a great structure over it. If we have faith in Nityananda, then that faith can bear any amount of weight. It won't betray us. So Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada has laid stress amongst the Westerners on devotion to Nityananda. First we must get his mercy, and then afterwards we can get the mercy of Radha Krishna. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu means Radha Krishna. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Radha Krishna Nahe Anya. First achieve the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu, and then Gauranga Mahaprabhu, and then Sri Radha Govinda. In these three stages, we must raise ourselves up. Devotee, how can one attain the mercy of Lord Nityananda? Srila Sridhar Maharaj. One who finds more inclination to serve Gauranga and his dham, his transcendental land, and his servants can get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu. Nityananda is very much kind to one who has some special tendency towards Gaura Lila. Take the name of Gauranga. Nityananda Prabhu walked from door to door in Bengal saying, take the name of Gauranga. I'll become your servant. You can purchase me if you only take the name of Gauranga. I'll be sold to you without any price or condition. That was his temperament. When Mahaprabhu was in Puri, he sent Nityananda Prabhu to Bengal. At that time he said, without you I don't find anyone who can spread the holy name of Krishna or devotional service to Krishna in Bengal. They are more engaged in the tantric method of Smriti. They make too much of these trifling things. They are puffed up, thinking that they have finished all knowledge. So Bengal is a very hard field for preaching. Without you, no one will be able to awaken the masses. Separate yourself from the higher castes and approach the masses with the holy name of Krishna. You are the fittest person for this work. Nityananda Prabhu went to Bengal, but without trying to preach the glories of the holy name of Krishna. Nityananda began to preach the name of Gauranga. Nityananda Prabhu found that there is some danger of thinking that Krishna's pastimes are very much akin to the mundane debauchery, lying and stealing of a degraded soul. Krishna's pastimes are of a highly confidential nature. It is very difficult for the masses to understand the purity of Krishna Lila. The mass mind cannot accept Krishna Lila as the highest attainment. So Nityananda Prabhu found it would be difficult to preach Krishna Lila, but he found it would be easy to preach Gaura Lila, where Krishna has come to distribute himself to the public with so much capital in his mind. Gauranga means a dynamo which wants to distribute Krishna, surcharged with the most magnanimous, intensified pity and kindness for the ordinary people, with the greatest affection even for the criminals. Nityananda Prabhu wanted to bring them in connection with Gauranga, for then Krishna Lila would automatically be within their fists. So he began to preach about Gauranga, not Radha Krishna, as commanded by Mahaprabhu. So Nityananda Prabhu says, Bhaja Gauranga, Kaha Gauranga, Laha Gaurangera Nana. Worship Gauranga, speak only of Gauranga, and chant the name of Gauranga. There is another instance of the relationship between Krishna and Balaram, and Gauranga and Nityananda, which is described in the Chaitanya Bhagavat. Ch.Ch.Adi had a dream that Krishna and Balaram were sitting on a throne, and Nityananda was fighting with Balaram. Come down from the throne. It is no longer Dwapara Yuga. The age of Kali has come, and my master Gauranga must occupy your position on this throne. You come down. Balaram began giving some opposition. No, why should we come down? We have been sitting on this throne for such a long time. Nityananda Prabhu began forcibly taking him down. And Balaram submitted slightly. Nityananda Prabhu said, my master Gauranga wants to take the position now. The age for him has come. So Nityananda is very partial to Gauranga. He says, Krishna is far off, my Lord is Gauranga. So we must be very grateful to Nityananda Prabhu, for he is our Guru, and Guru's grace is so important that Raghunath Das Goswami says, O Radharani, I want your grace. Without you, I don't want Krishna separately. I never want Krishna without you. That should be the healthy attitude of a devotee. This has been explained by Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur in his Guru Vastakam. Yasya Prasadam Bhagavat Prasado, Yasya Prasadam Nakati Kutopi, Dayam Stuvans Tasya Yasastri Sanjam, Vande Guru Sri Charanada Vindam. I bow down to the lotus feet of Sri Gurudev. By his grace, we achieve the grace of Krishna. Without his grace, we are lost. Therefore, we should always meditate on Sri Gurudev and pray for his mercy. This is the position of Sri Guru, by whose grace we can get everything. We can get the grace of Krishna, and without whose grace we have no other prospect. So in this way, we must have reverence for He who has given us our first connection with Krishna consciousness. Jai. Sri Guru and His grace, the original Guru, Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Siddhadev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Prabhu, you sing Hari Araya, please.
Hari Araya Nama Krishna Jadavaya Namaha.
Hari Araya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Namaha.
Jadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Namaha.
Gopala Govinda Ram Srimati Sudam.
Gopal Govinda Ram Srimati Sudam. Giridhari Gopinath Namaha.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra.
Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Gadadhara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Sri Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Laguna.
Jaya Rupa Sanatana Bhakta Laguna.
Sri Vipin Gopala Bhakta Rasa Laguna.
Sri Jiva Gopala Bhakta Rasa Laguna.
Joy Gosai Kori Charana Banda.
Jai Gosai Kori Charana Banda.
Jaha Vaite Vignana Savista Kula.
Jai Devinana Savista Kula.
Joy Gosai Charamu Charada.
Jai Gosai Yamui Tarada.
Radeva Charana Sevi Bhakta Samita.
Dantavara Para Venu Bora Panchada.
Radeva Charana Sevi Bhakta Samita.
Dantira Charana Sevi Bhakta Sanida.
Jana Mejana Memora Avila.
Jana Me Jana Me Mora Avila.
Joy Gosai Jabe Raja Twilaba.
Jai Gosai Jabe Raja Twilaba.
Radha Krishna Nita Lila Korataka.
Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korataka.
Ananda Kolo Hari Bhaja Vindava.
Anande Kola Hari Bhaja Vrindava.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Saram Jayananda.
Sri Guru Vaishnava Kali Jayama.
Shri Guru Vaishnava Saram Bhagna Koriya.
Sri Guru Vaishnava Padma Koriya.
Harinam Kripa Kori Samada.
Harinam Sankirtana Kori Samada.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Rama 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 Hare
Jai Gauranga Gaura Hari.
Hare. Jai Gauranga Gaura Hari.
Jai Gauranga
Om Vishnu Sila Bhakti Nimalachaya Maharaj ki. Sila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj ki. Om Vishnu Sila Bhakti Rakak Sila Dev Goswami Maharaj ki. Bhagavan Sila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur ki. Sri Rupanuga Gurvarga ki. Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur ki. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat Sri Acharya Vrinda ki. Namacharya Sila Haridas Thakur ki. Sabhashara Sri Nityananda Prabhu ki jai. Sabhashara Sima Mahaprabhu ki jai. Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopi Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Pundakiri Govardhan ki jai. Tulasi Maharani ki jai. Ganga Yamuna Chu ki jai. Krantarachi Bhagavatam Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Sri Navadvitam ki jai. Sri Mayapudam ki jai. Sri Vrindavan Dham ki jai. Sri Purushottama Dham ki jai. Nath Baladev Subhadra Ju ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat East London Chapter ki jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat West London Chapter ki jai. Samadvaita Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Samadvaita Vaishnava Mandala ki jai. Harinam Sankirtan ki jai. Sri Kartik Vrata ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanand